Right, I'm gonna fucking just have a little chat about my last few days. So, um, I like it when Facebook keeps shutting down my accounts because that means that I've got something on someone that they don't like. Because people don't like truth tellers, and they keep shutting down my accounts and or saying your account's been hacked. So what we've done is we've suspended it and we've sent the hackers a verification code and all that bollocks. So after I got this phone and signed into DJ Club UK, Wayne Heath, it said it was the wrong password, which it wasn't. So I went in the library next door in Ashford Library and I signed in and it said, yeah, that's the right password. So what we've done is sent you a verification to your A7 that you never asked for, that you told the man in our shop yesterday that you've not got it no more because they've broke that like they broke your last 10, where they blank the screen and keep it on. I mean, I was having a little rave in the underground car park in Ashford Park, Civic Park, when the police come in and saw me having a rave at about 2 in the morning the other week, and it was working fine. And I posted that rave on Facebook on one of the old accounts, Eve Medlock, that they've shut down. But you can see me having a rave um, on that tablet that worked absolutely fine. And the next day it didn't. So I went and got a phone and contract. And I said that all my phones are hacked and I'm sick of it. I just want a contract now where I'm covered. And then they give me another hacked phone. And I set up a new account called Eve Medlock 234. And they shut down that account for no reason. And they want me to appeal, but I don't appeal to pricks or criminals. I just make another account and sign back in. And then they don't let me sign in. They say your account's suspended. So what I do is I delete Facebook from my phone, and then sign out of any accounts and then reinstall it. So I'm not signed into any accounts. And then it says you're suspended. I said, no, I'm not. So I phoned DE. I said, I've not got Facebook on this account. So how can I be signed in, you prick? So anyway, I thought, fuck off. So I set up a new one, Lily Medlock. And I searched for me. I searched for DJ Colonel Gurnal, DJ Club UK Trance Junkie, and DJ Club UK Wayne Heath, all three of which are live. You can go and check it now because I just have, and they're all live. And when I signed in on Lily Medlock, I couldn't find any of them. So it's still all manipulated. My Dropbox stamp mix and the Wild Style mix, I found them on DJ Trance Junkie Facebook, and I went to play them, and it says that it's on Google Play. It's not. It's on Google Drive, not on Dropbox. It says it's not on Dropbox. It's on Google Drive. So I said, all right, then I'll listen to that. And it said you can't. So fuck them. And someone also changed my Wild Style permissions recently, and the only one who sets permissions is me. And I got an email from Dropbox saying it was Team DJ Club UK, which I know nothing about. So anyway, I've listened to it today anyway. I've downloaded it on this phone because I found one that worked, and it says listen to it in browser rather than Dropbox, and it lets you. So fuck off. And on this phone as well, I went to listen to my BBE All You Want, because that's what it's called, not BBE Trance Flash Mix, as you've labelled it, you hackers and you manipulators. That says it was uploaded a year ago, because it was uploaded 10 years ago, and it's called BBE All You Want. And I've still got the original. I've got screenshots of here of the WAV file called BBE All You Want, and how long ago it was and stuff. But now it's called BBE Transmix All You Want Flash. So when I complain about it, they say it's not an EE problem. And I say, but mate, I bought this phone in an EE shop, and an EE person put a Google Play Store on it, and every single app I can't use. I can't use SoundCloud. It says you need to sign in, which you don't. Because I went next door in CEX and said, put my name in on Google and on SoundCloud, DJ Club UK, and see what happens. And he started listening to my mix without signing in. So they're lying. So EE say it's SoundCloud's fault, not EE's. Then I say I can't sign in on my Facebook, and I know my password because I just went next door in the library and it is my password, and it's saying it's not. And they say it's a Facebook problem. Then there's YouTube. I set up Eve Medlock account, and then it instantly sets up a YouTube for me saying Wayne Heath, which I would never do because I'd never use my own name. And it said Wayne Heath with some numbers and letters after it that I didn't do. And I've sent my daughter links with that. And you go on there today, it just says Wayne Heath without the numbers, and I didn't even put Wayne Heath. And when I first used YouTube, it said you can only do 3 minutes. And I said, mate, I've been doing 15 minutes for the last 20 years. What are you talking about? And then it changed. And then it said you need to put your phone number in if you want to upload videos, which you don't. So EE is saying it's YouTube's fault. The numbers on my Google are not right. I've been phoning Brockfield House all day. I'm going to post the screenshots in a minute. I've been trying to contact Brockfield House for the last 6 years without any success. It's not Brockfield House, it's a control centre, and they do exactly what they say. They control people and manipulate them and lie to them. They put me through to someone eventually after 25 minutes who said they're at Brockfield House. And I said, tell me where June Ward is if you're in the office. And they said, oh, we can't. And I said, yes, you can. I said, I know it is because I was there. You go out the back, you go right. Now tell me where you go. And they didn't know where it was. I said, just put me through to June Ward. And she said, all right then. She put me on hold. She come back and said, I've just spoke to June Ward and blah, blah, blah. I said, what? I thought you was putting me through. I don't need you to speak for me. I've had years of people speaking for me. I don't need you. Put me through. And she said, I can't. I said, but when all you controlling people put me there, my sisters got through all right. They all had the number, and so did I. In fact, I had the number. Why can't you give me the number? Or put me through? And they said, we can't. I said, all right, just give me the June Ward's number then, or Brockfield House number. I'll phone back. They said, we can't. I said, but you're in an NHS hospital. Why can't you give me their number? Oh, we can't. You got phone control. I said, I just phone control. And it said it was Brockfield House, which is not, it's control. And I said, I don't want control, I want Brockfield House. So put it through to Brockfield House or give me the number. And they said, we can't. But this is meant to be an NHS hospital. So why can't they give you a number? So I've got all the screenshots of the times I phoned the so-called Brockfield House day that said they're a Brockfield House. It's not Brockfield House. And when I went through to this control centre that says it's Brockfield House, I asked them where they're based, and I said, are you Brockfield House? And they said, I don't know. I said, where are you based? I said, where are you based? So you must know where you're based. And then it turns out they're in Basildon. And I said, but that's not Brockfield House. It says here on my phone, Brockfield House. As I'm calling it says you're phoning Brockfield House, and it's not. So that's misinformation, isn't it? Oh, you come through the control centre. I said, all right, well, it's misinformation, so put me through to Brockfield House. Oh, we can't. So after 25 minutes, they finally put me through. I said, I want my minutes. Oh, you got to ask control. I said, or community. I said, no, you're not. They're my minutes. They're my minutes. I don't need a lawyer. I don't need control. I don't need. I want my minutes. And they won't give me them. So 6 years after I left there by tribunal, where they said I was compos mentis, I've still not been able to get in touch with them or get my minutes. I've been to the doctors down here. And I said to him today, I'm not going to wear up at you. I was moaning the other day, but you've actually been right to me. You've given me 3 fit notes. I asked to see a doctor because I want to start trusting them again because of my health, physical, which he did. He didn't fucking go on the mental health wagon like you bunch of pricks. But they've still not given me my medical record. So I've looked up the legality of it, and it says they've got to give you them within 40 days. So I said, look, all right, I could just view them now while I'm here, couldn't I? But I'll just go with it. I'm gonna bear with you because they've been all right to me. And she said the woman who does whatever is in on Tuesday. So I said, all right, I'll wait till then. But you can guarantee I won't be. But I'll give them a chance. So I've been asking to view my medical records since I've been here about 2 months. I've still not seen them. I mean, you don't need a doctor to authorise it. You don't need anyone, right? Because when I was in Appledore, the council come down and said, we need your medical records. So I said, all right. So I phoned Churchill in Chingford, and they just sent me them over email straight away within 5 minutes, where it said National Service Framework Mental Health, but it didn't say nothing about schizoaffective, that I was locked up for 5 years. So I'm trying to look into what it all means. I've looked up online what National Service Framework Mental Health, and it doesn't explain anything. It doesn't explain a thing. But when I went in there the other day, I said to the receptionist, just tell me what entry it says for 2021. And she said, there ain't an entry. And I said, but the ones I got from Churchill, there was an entry from 2021 for some reason saying mental health National Service Framework. Um, and it doesn't say anything about this mental illness that I've got for life. That there's no cure for that, so I shouldn't have been locked up or medicated if there's no cure. Because what's he going to do? Lock me up for life? Um, and no one's explained anything like as to why I was there. Why you think you can section someone without three professionals time and time again? Why you think taking a picture of a public notice board is illegal and a sign of serious mental illness where I need medicating? And I just want answers because this is where I'm living now. As beautiful as it is today, it's been cold. Um, it's harsh conditions. I'm protected from shelter from the elements and inhumane conditions, and also a right to privacy without interference from the state. It's clear interference from the state. Oh yeah, and when I come out of prison recently because I needed a break, I phoned my sister who was dealing with my money. I said, "Have I got any money in my bank?" She said, "Dr. Ho's dead." I said, "I didn't ask about Dr. Ho." I said, "I asked about my money." Um, and then a few months after, I said, "Well, how would you know he's dead? Anyway, what's he got to do with you?" "Oh, I know someone from there and they told me." I said, "All right, well, so what?" What, she just come up to you and said, "Oh, hello, Dr. Ho's dead." Oh, let him sort it out. I don't care. But he's not dead because I've been looking him up and it says he works at Brockfield House and that he's a researcher and has a lot to do with mind and research. Like what I said in the first place, that I was in a research centre and it wasn't a hospital, because in a hospital you would get a proper um, assessment and he would ask you questions about what you've been experiencing. And I would have told him police are harassing me and putting technology monitoring systems in my house, and they put on my medical records that I've got a history of domestic violence and that I'm coercive controlling, and they're lying, and they've tried to get me sectioned again and again. And I was cutting some cheese in my living room with a knife, and the sergeant pageant turned up and asked me where the knife was. Now, how would he know that, Doc? How would he know I had a knife? And also, Doc, as you're so smart, is it illegal to have a knife in your own living room cutting cheese? Because Sergeant Pageant seemed to think it was, because he tried to get me sectioned then as well for having a knife in my own living room cutting cheese. But how would he know I had a knife? And even if I did have a knife, well, so what? What's it got to do with him? It's not legal to have a knife in your living room, so fuck off. But he took me to Colchester next to the hospital where the NHS were gaslighting me, telling me to come in the office. My sister's on the phone, but they didn't know her name. And when they asked her, she didn't know her name. And then she phoned back and didn't know her date of birth. So I told them to fuck off. And they keep on doing it. And then they sent me, when I was at Harlow Common, after they made me homeless, Harlow Police come over there harassing me and arrested me for no reason again. And I was annoyed. So I said, fuck off. And they put me in the cells. They didn't give me any legal aid or nothing. They just got a doctor to come to my cell. I said, "Are you my legal aid?" He said, "No." I said, "Who are you?" And he said, "Doctor." I said, "Fuck off then." And he thought that was reason enough to section me, because he couldn't understand that I was annoyed that I'd just been unlawfully arrested again when I was just sitting over Harlow Common minding my own business. And they sent me to some weird place. And then from there, they sent me to the Christopher unit where I got diagnosed with delusional disorder, despite never telling him anything either. And then I escaped to show how stupid they are and how much capacity I've got. And I told him how I escaped. And the day I come back, he released me without any explanation. So had the doctor done a assessment, I would have told him all that, but he didn't. He didn't ask me anything. He just diagnosed me. He didn't tell me what symptoms what delusions I'm supposed to have had. He just pumped me full of drugs that I don't believe were antipsychotics. I believe I was in a trial and I was a lab rat in a research centre, because I don't believe anyone there was mentally ill apart from Levi, the one that punched me in the face, proving that medication doesn't work, because he'd been medicated for years and he punched me in the face because he thought I was pissing in his shower. So that proves medication don't work. And all the others, that they didn't need medication, they needed to get out and go IB for, like Graham said. But they were all just locked up like little lab rats or guinea pigs. And that's abuse. Doctors telling you for years that you've got a serious mental illness because you've done something totally lawful. So he's not very honest with you, is he? So yeah, so this is part one. I'll do 15-minute things. I'm going to talk about Facebook and EE after, because they're getting on my fucking nerves. Like, Facebook keeps saying we suspended your account, appeal. I'm saying I'm not appealing, mate. If you've got an issue with me, ask me a question before you suspend my account. Or if you suspend my account, you know what email I use for that account. So email me and I'll email you back with my answer to what you want to ask me. So don't fucking tell me to appeal, because I don't fucking beg to wankers like you, who keeps manipulating my accounts. I've told you time and time again that the police and everyone else are hacking my accounts, manipulating my accounts, monitoring my phones, monitoring my accounts, editing things, and you just don't listen. And you send the verifications to the hackers or verifications to my A7 that I didn't ask for. You send me verifications to numbers I had 20 years ago that no one's got the same number they had 20 years ago, but I've never asked you. I've never put a phone number in to any of my Facebooks ever. But you keep sending verification codes to my old phone numbers that I've not got, that I didn't ask you to. And you've done it again this week with my A7. That was working fine one day and then not the next. So fuck off. So I'm going to start with EE and Facebook next. But that's part one of my little... I thought I'd show you a nice little view while I had my little chat. Bye.